The Arizona Cardinals get one rookie back. The other, still waiting to figure out what's going on with Walter Nolen. And there are big changes coming offensively, Johnny Venerable.
Yeah, at the recording of this podcast, the Arizona Cardinals, they're 28th in total offense. What needs to change and what's going to change ahead of a key matchup this Sunday in Glendale? PHNX Cardinals starts now. Hey, welcome in. Okay, presented by our friends, our dear friends at Circle K. It's the PHNX Cardinals podcast, your premier, #1 in the world Arizona Cardinal podcast. Kindly like and subscribe, friends. Leave us a 5-star if you would be so inclined, wherever you get your programming. I'm Johnny Venerable. He's Bo Brack. Noah Man's behind the mic today. We are rested. Are we feeling optimistic, Bo? We're going to get into that.
Yeah, we feeling hopeful. Are we feeling hopeful about this offense? Are we feeling hopeful about this team that's 2-2 after dropping back-to-back games by a combined 4 points? We'll get into it, of course. Brought to you by friends over at Bet365. Download the Bet365 app today. Of course, things never ordinary. Use the code PHNX365. Deposit $10. Place a bet for $5 and get $200 in bonus bets. I was all over the Bet365 app this weekend, just craving more and more football. I was live betting. I was cashing out early. I was taking advantage of all the things that Bet365 has to offer. What's going on, Rebel Leader? I see What Up Bird Gang. I see, what do we got? Jules Felix, happy Monday. Alberto E. dropping his own live. How about, let's see some other chats up here. Let's fire it up. Let's juice this thing up on a Monday. Humble Rumble, Jacob, I love it. Brian P. putting some bad news in the chat. I saw this on Johnny's Twitter. A friend of the show is thriving in Tampa Bay. T. Cleary, how we doing? And Bonnie Brockable, one of my favorite chat names. Of course, you dropping all those emojis. As members of the Supporters Club, Mike from Down Under, Omar, yo, how we doing? Hope everybody's having a great start to their week.
Hit that like button kindly. It's PHNX Cardinals live on a Monday, and I was pretty tired, tie boy, after Thursday and Friday. If you go back and watch those shows, Bo and I are upset. I think we're a little bit more level-headed today, but here's what I'll say. This is the most important week of the season for the Arizona Cardinals. 10 days off, and they get to play a dumpster of an organization this weekend. The Brian Callahan-led Tennessee Titans are an embarrassment.
Yeah.
And if you, I don't even want to say lose to them. If this is a competitive game, there's no going back. I can't defend anybody Sunday, Monday, Tuesday of next week. This is, we posted something earlier today. This is your last kind of get right game before you have to play 3 teams that can score a bunch of points. So what about Dallas Cowboys? They just dropped 40 on the Packers last night. So we'll start, Bo, with the expectations going into Sunday. We're going to get to JG's comments. We're going to get to the injury timeline with a lot of these folks. However, none of that matters. It's all a moot point if the offense doesn't get their act together. And I think that we've got significant scheme changes incoming as early as this weekend.
Yeah, and we talked about it, right? It's on our video that we dropped earlier today on PHNX Sports. But if you're really kind of wondering, like, hey, what kind of team are the Titans? What kind of teams coming into town? Noah, Cam Ward summed it up how he feels like the Titans are playing. Here's the quote from Sunday: "If we keep it in a buck, we ass." That's according to the #1 overall pick.
Pause.
Cam Ward. 4 straight losses, and you're like, man, the Cardinals offensively are a tough watch. The Titans have scored 30 less points on the season than the Arizona Cardinals, actually 32 to be exact. I mean, this is unbelievable. I think, Johnny, this is by far, I think this is definitively the worst team that the NFL has to offer in 2025 coming into Glendale on Sunday.
Real bad. And again, like, I put out a tweet yesterday. I was like, please don't fire Brian Callahan before this game. They haven't yet. He relinquished play calling. Listen, we're gonna have all week to preview this game. Let's talk about the Arizona Cardinals and where they stand, because I always like before, especially they moved to 17-game season, we had this kind of nice little bucket of quarters during an NFL season, 16 games. 4, 4, 4, and 4. Okay, there's 4 quarters, just like in a game. It's poetic, really. Wow. And the Cardinals have played a full quarter, roughly, of the season. And again, you can draw conclusions of what you want. You can spin it. You can say at a presser, we're close. And again, I'm not judging JG or K1 or whomever that says that. Mm-hmm. But you are, number one, who your record is, what your record is, and you are what your statistics indicate. I thought coming into this season that the Cardinals would struggle offensively, but I thought there'd be enough good to outweigh that, especially with the teams that they're playing and the defense early on. I did not see a horrific, emphasis capital H on horrific, start for this team, Bo. They currently sit, let's cue up the graphic, bottom of the NFL with the likes of the Titans, Bengals, Eagles are frauding it up somehow down there. The Steelers, the Arizona Cardinals in total offense are 28th at the recording of this podcast. They are behind teams like the Jets, the Browns, the New York Giants, and Cam Scatterbo. This is year 3 of a rebuild. Those other teams, Titans, rookie QB, Bengals missing their quarterback, Steelers, old. Eagles are their anomaly. They win all the time. It doesn't matter. The Cardinals have no excuse. And again, like, the further away we get from week 1 and this continues, the more it's not an outlier. It's a trend of where, this team is going or where it's already been, frankly.
Well, it's also the regression, and you don't even have what you used to be able to hang your hat on, and it's the run game. The run game has been absent now in 4 consecutive games. And that used to be at least, hey, if things aren't going well, we can always just turn around and hand the ball off to James Conner and get chunk yards and really kind of turn the clock and play, winning football that way. You haven't even had that luxury. I mean, it's just been across the board, riding the struggle bus offensively for 4 consecutive games. And you'll see 3 of the 4 games, I think that, you played probably 3 of the probably bottom 8 offenses in the league, and you've struggled to put those teams away. It has been a tough watch, and they need to figure this out, and they're going to have to do it. They're going to have to adapt, and they're going to have to kind of reimagine themselves offensively along the way, because James Conner's not walking through that door any longer.
No.
Out of just being supportive to his teammates, which he's already been. We'll see what the latest is on Trey Benson. I was out there during the bonus day for practice. No signs of 33. It's concerning. What's it going to look like if you're down the depth chart potentially to RB3 and you already are struggling to run the football? It means you better get that passing game going. You should have already done that games ago.
Okay, so this is why we're led to believe, if you just connect the dots with public information, the Cardinals are going to shift from their 12, 13 personnel approach to what we expect to be more traditional Kyler Murray-led 10, 11 personnel. Number one, they did it last game, right? They leaned into it, and it looked better in the second half. Marv was more comfortable. I thought Kyler Murray was more comfortable, frankly. Mm-hmm. Number 2, you mentioned it, Trey Benson, not practicing today, was not in, if you watch that final possession against the Seattle Seahawks, did not play. I looked over at Bo and I'm like, why is Michael Carter in the game? And I'm like, oh, he must just like the matchup. And Bo's like, yeah, I noticed he wasn't in there. And then now, what else did they do today? They signed Michael Carter to the active roster. So I don't know how long Benson's going to be out. We're going to have more clarity in the coming days. So let's just assume starting this weekend, no James Conner, no Trey Benson. You want to line up 13 personnel on an offensive line that's not the same without Clayton Adams, with Amari DiMercato. It's not a winning formula. the winning formula for this team, which is what they should have been doing all year, is to let Kyler Murray sit back in 10-11 personnel, scan the field, and hit his wide receivers. Like, you're not, I said this earlier, you're not beating good teams or average teams, frankly, doing your old offense from last year. Like, I hate when coaches say this because they're like, well, we're not the same team last year. That's actually true in this instance. You don't have Clayton Adams anymore. You are not the team that we saw run over the Bears and the Jets and the Dolphins. Like, you're not that team anymore. The great coaching staffs in the NFL can tweak, adjust. McVay, Shanahan, now Mike McDonald on the fly. Can you adjust on the fly to your personnel? They're going to have to.
And it's an opportunity, right, against the league's worst. But here's where I'm concerned. I'm actually really concerned because of a couple of things that you mentioned from last year where you went up against a weaker opponent and you were able to just impose your will on them with the run game. You look at this Tennessee Titans team that's coming in, 4th most rushing yards against with 566, 4.8 yards per carry, almost 4 yards after contact. That's 2nd most in the NFL, and the most rushing TDs surrendered. I hope they don't get too tantalized by this. This is an important game to where you can deploy the passing game where the reps are real and you can get it up to speed. Like we saw this happen in real time against Seattle. It looked really bad the first 3 quarters before things started to kind of, go in the 4th quarter where you saw Kyler Murray go 9 for 12 and he's throwing to Marv for a touchdown. He's throwing it to Michael Wilson on 4th down. He's getting Greg Dortch underneath and he's dealing a little bit. It's like parlay that performance into another good performance against Tennessee and get this passing game to where it needs to be, where if you need to get into a shootout like we witnessed last night on Monday night or on Sunday Night Football, that you're not just dead in the water. It's just so important. Like, don't get drawn into and looking at how poor Tennessee is against the run. It's like you should be able to beat Tennessee with your defense and your passing attack. That's just how it should go. Like, and you shouldn't just try to like, hey, we're going to try to get the defibrillator out here and really kind of shock this run game back to life, because I don't think like that's not you anymore.
No, it's not you. Look in the mirror. Like, you're going to do that against the Packers in 2 weeks? You're going to do that? I mean, you're going to be able to do that after the bye? Like, we know you're a worse running product than you were, and it's not getting better. And there, like, film and adjustments like can only do so much. Here's what you have at your disposal, though. You have a Pro Bowl quarterback who has been neutered. Like, this is the only conversation I need to have. Kyler Murray, pre the Drew Petzing offense, was a big play machine. Couldn't stay healthy, right? Was inconsistent, but when he played, big play machine. Post Drew Petzing, he plays in every game, but the numbers are incredibly vanilla. They're average. It's a dink and dunk approach. Last year, 17 passing touchdowns going into the finale. This year, I think he's like 2nd lowest in the NFL in terms of yards per completion. It's a dink and dunk offense. So it's like you try it your way.
Ward, the one that's below him.
Right. It's Kyler and Cam Ward.
Yeah. And like Aaron Rodgers. But it's not like not a lot.
Here's what I'm going to tell everybody. The Arizona Cardinals had their chance to take Kyler Murray and put them into their schematic system and say, we're going to plug and play you here, and we're going to do some really big things out of 12, 13 personnel, and you're going to play under center. Remember, it was a big deal. We sat at Radio Row with everybody after they were hiring Gannon and said, can they run under center? He can do it. He can do it. Yeah, he can do it. It's not the best option for him. The best option to take advantage, to try to capture lightning in a bottle this year. Yes, doesn't mean you have to be in shotgun all the time. I'm not saying that. But for the most part, sit back there and let him do what he does best. Make plays on the move, survey the field. I mean, like, does anyone, if they move to shotgun, does anybody think that Marvin Harrison Jr.'s production isn't going to be infinitely better, or Trey McBride or Michael Wilson? Of course it will, because it's not going to be this slow developing, middling offense that now suddenly can't run the football. So they have no choice. They're going to have to go to this. Like, I don't even think this is a question. I understand your point. They're smart enough to realize, like, even if they ran it against Tennessee, Bo, what makes anybody think that they can score in the red zone? They've ran it against other teams this year. They couldn't. We're in New Orleans. They ran it fine against Carolina. Didn't matter. They couldn't score touchdowns.
Right. No, I mean, yeah, you got to see improvement. You got to see an extension of what you saw the last 3 drives from this offense where they went field goal, touchdown, touchdown. And look, there was an advantage. You've pointed out, like you're playing with a fourth down,
right,
where it's in play that you're going for it the entire way. I don't think they're going to be necessarily going for broke that way,
but it's against the top-rated defense in the NFL.
Yeah, it is against the top-rated defense in the NFL. But look, I mean, you're going against one of the worst defenses in the NFL. Like, show me something. I think that's what the people have been like. Okay, I wanted to see it against the Saints. What the hell happened? Okay, I'm willing to overlook that. It didn't happen against Carolina. Other teams got it done against Carolina, putting a whooping on them. You didn't get against a extremely undermanned 49ers team. Okay, I'm kind of getting upset now. And then now for a fourth straight week, it's like, I know it's a tough defense, but is it ever going to come? Is the offense ever going to click? Is it ever going to look, in drives look easy? And like the few times it has, it's with their backs against the wall. And it's after being running stagnant offense for far too long to start a game. I
mean, they really honestly, especially with this Trey Benson situation, they have no choice. And they had to have looked at the way that Marv played and Kyler played and Michael Wilson was involved and Greg Dortch, and just thought to themselves, like this wasn't sustainable anyway.
Right.
Like, this is all you have to do. If you're Jonathan Gannon and Monty Ossenford and Drew Petzing and you're sitting in a room, it's like, this is going to get everybody fired at some point. This is going to set us up for Drew's going to be gone in January. JG and Ossenford are on the hot seat entering 2026. It's like Ossenford has been very good at adaptability. We need to see that from the coaching staff. Ossenford said, and we're going to talk about this, I whiffed on Bilal Nichols and Justin Jones. Let me correct that with Calais Campbell and Dalvin Tomlinson.
Right.
Like, give some of that humility to the coaching staff so they understand, like, you're living in a difficult time if you're a Cardinal coach, because you need to, at worst, be 4-3 entering the bye week, which means you're going to have to take care of business against the Titans and or the Packers or the Indianapolis Colts. It's a very, very difficult thing for a team that can't score to do.
You remember like living with roommates, obviously like college, post-college and stuff like that. You have people who didn't do like their dishes.
Yeah.
And like, I remember people going to extreme measures. This was my own experience, but like you'd like throw away the dishes or whatever because that person just would never do it. And it's like Drew Petzing is that roommate. Like, you've thrown away all the utensils.
Yes.
He's going to eat his spaghetti and he has nothing else left to eat it with. Like, he's going to have to use his hands. Like, that's what his running game is. Like, he's going to have to either eat with a dirty fork or he's going to have to, turn to just doing the right thing.
Yeah. Do the dishes, Drew, please. Load the dishwasher.
It might be one of the worst analogies ever used on
No, it's legitimate.
People were saying like the toy, like take the toys away. It's just like, no, the toys are out there. Go have fun with them. You got Marvin Harrison Jr. You've got Trey McBride. Like, rightfully so, they had double-digit targets against the Seahawks, and it took them losing James Conner in order to do so. And it's like, you might even be down worse than that.
We do super chats at the end of the show. It's a good one from our friend Pickens Spreads, Donnie, $4.99. Cardinals 11 personnel usage. Week 142.
Lord.
Week 249. Week 3, 50%. That was an egregious. They should have been 100% that game. And then week 4, 83.6. James getting hurt clearly made the change. My expectations are low, but I'm intrigued. I think it's got to be like 70 to 80% moving forward. Like, if you want to go, and this is a great super chat. Thank you, Donnie, for that. If you want to go into the fourth quarter with a lead and you feel like you've earned the right to run the football and it's been effective, do that. But like, trying the first half of the 49er and the Seahawk game are fireable offensive quarters and halves. Like, those are fireable offenses. The first half of both divisional games. And then they try to make adjustments and they win hurry up. Like, no more screwing around. Lean into what your personnel dictates. That's what great coaches do. You got teams out here. Mac Jones winning games. The Rams are a freight train from hell. You got no shot beating that team. This ain't last year when they were young and you had your mojo with Clayton Adams. You got to find a way to beat them. You already lost 2 divisional games.
I was watching that game yesterday, and speaking of Bet365, and I saw, the Colts get the ball in a tie game against the Rams. I live bet the Rams. I was like, I've seen this before.
Yeah,
because the Danny Dimes, Indiana Jones stalls out, and what happens next? Matthew Stafford just goes for the jugular, finds Tutu Atwell, and it's like game over. Okay, thanks for giving us that opportunity. They gave him that sliver of an opportunity, and the Colts couldn't capitalize, and the Rams were like, we're a good team. We're going to win this game. Okay, thanks.
I also think, I don't want this to come off insensitive, but it will. Marvin Harrison Jr., like Malik Neighbors is done for the year.
Oh, wow, this is real incentive. Yeah.
Joe Alt has a high ankle sprain. These are players that were drafted right behind him that we talk about every day. Marv, the public perception of Marv could not have been lower the first half of Thursday's game. And then he rallied in the second half. Marv, this is your time. Coaching staff, this is your time. Build him back up. The Cardinals are going to be hidden this week at the afternoon kickoff of the Tennessee game. It's going to be 2 markets watching that game. Target MHJ 15 times in this game. Let him dominate at home against a bad Titan team. And I'm going to tell you right now, good things will happen. Great things will happen, but you got to keep going to him. Hey, DeMercado's drafted pass. Are we going to shun him? Just got to keep going back to the well if you're Drew Petzing.
No doubt about it. More on obviously Marvin Harrison Jr., what his role, or his expanded role could be in this new offense. Plus we got, who's trending up, who's trending down, all coming up here shortly. Keep it locked, PHNX Cardinals.
Keep it locked in with our friends at Rally House. We're going to be hanging out with our friends in the Glendale location this coming Friday. Come on out. And in the meantime, Rally House is your go-to spot for all your favorite local AZ gear. I was talking to some friends who picked up some of the new Cardinal rivalry jerseys at the Rally House location. They got theirs in Mesa. There's a Tempe location and, of course, Glendale right by the stadium. Again, check them out. They've got premier gear. And the best part is they only carry Arizona sports teams. So you don't have to worry about finding, Matthew Stafford jersey, Puka Nacua, fraud, Brock Purdy. It's all AZ all the time. Find your local Rally House location and shop the entire product assortment online. It's rallyhouse.com, www.rallyhouse.com. Check them out today.
Love that. Can't wait for everybody to come out to Rally House in Glendale on Friday. Also love when people come out and we hang out with at Gila River Resorts and Casinos, because you can achieve legendary status there in the sports book, on the tables, whatever tickles your fancy at, of course, the Valley's local casino, which is better than anything they're doing in Vegas or anything else. Gila River Resorts and Casinos, nobody does it better. Visit their 4 locations: Wild Horse, Lone Butte, Bequeva, Santan Mountain. Experience the best that the Valley has to offer. It's just lounge at either AAA 4-diamond resorts and let relaxation take charge. Unbeatable desert and mountain views, over 4,500 slots, table games. Catch all the action at the sports book. You do you. Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Visit playatgila.com for more details. That's playatgila.com for all the details. And join us on Cardinal Road games out at Wild Horse Pass.
Everybody hit that like button. Subscribe to PHNX Sports here on YouTube. A big thanks to everybody who tuned in over the weekend. Phenomenal PHNX programming. Mercury headed to the WNBA Finals. And, of course, our guys on both college beats, phenomenal coverage. So, again, if you have not done so already, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate everybody here as we jump into some injury news and notes, Bo.
Sure, yeah. I mean, and real quick, just watching the Sun Devils offense, you got 2 first-rounders there. I know that's not breaking news to anybody, but it's fun to watch Levitt and Jordan Tyson go to work. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, both are going to be, I think, firm top 20 picks. I think Levitt has a chance to really help himself. So he has some of these.
How many fan bases really get to experience that? Like, I know Ohio State, Alabama, it happens a lot. It doesn't happen a lot in Tempe.
No, I saw them play a couple weeks ago against, it was a Joe Blow school, Coach Starks.
Texas State.
Yeah. It took me and my son out to the game and watching Jordan Tyson in person. Like, Levitt's an elite athlete. And I think he's got some Herbert vibes. He's a little bit smaller. It reminds me, honestly, like of Tony Romo in terms of how he moves in the pocket. So, yeah, I mean, they have it's a blessing and a curse for this fine program because they have a more competent offense. It's the offense that, you want the Arizona Cardinals to run. Right. And I think they will. So we know Cardinals offense outside of Trey Benson now relatively healthy. What about the defensive side of the ball? It sounds like the intermediate Will Johnson has a good chance to play this weekend.
Yeah, we had Will Johnson out there today during the bonus day. His head coach, Jonathan Gannon, wouldn't commit to anything. But look, Will Johnson's been out since, he left the game against the Carolina Panthers in week 2. He missed week 3 against the Niners, and he missed Thursday Night Football against the Seahawks with the groin issue. He hadn't practiced until today. Zero was out there. He was looking good. He was looking smooth, just as Sub-Zero. We've been known to see him move around.
Yeah.
So he's out there. Also, we got a surprise. We got a little bit of a surprise before practice began as we were anticipating, hey, look, the practice window, you got Walter Nolen eligible. You got B.J. Ojulari eligible. You've got Justin Jones eligible. No, none of them are going to be having their practice window open. But Bilal Nichols, remember him? Yeah, Bilal Nichols is going to have his practice window open. And we saw Nichols out there. Number 92, moving around well. And if you add him to the rotation, he takes that LJ Collier spot. It's fine and good with me. It has people, though, wondering, okay, Nichols, but what the hell? Where's B.J. Ojulari? Where's Walter Nolen? And this is one thing that I'm just speculating on, okay? Don't take this as me telling you what's going on.
This is true. Breaking news sources.
Yes, exactly. Come hit the Twitter streets with it.
Yeah.
Hit other Cardinals with it. Well, this is what Bo's saying. No, this is what I'm just like, I'm wondering is with the 21-day window, if the Cardinals want maybe a little bit extra runway for the younger players and Walter Nolen and B.J. Ojulari to maybe think about opening their window on Wednesday instead of Monday, because then they would be forced to make a decision 3 weeks from today instead of 3 weeks from Wednesday.
I mean, that's a good theory. You floated that to me earlier today. Yeah. I think there could be some truth to that. Here's the truth of the matter. This sucks. This stinks. This is not good. I'm going to tell you why. First of all, Elijah Simmons kicking ass and taking names this weekend for Tampa Bay, throttling Philadelphia's starting offensive line on numerous plays. Now, Mustipher, give him credit, has played well. So I don't want to come on here and be like Mustipher bad. He's been good. Darius Robinson was not at practice today. We know he had a chest chest injury. I'd heard over the weekend that like his injury wasn't severe, but like I don't where the hell is he? I don't know what's happening.
Bonus day, Johnny. It's bonus
day. Bonus bets, bonus day.
No Mac Wilson today. Like there were a couple
of guys. They finished the game. They'll be all right.
Yeah.
This defense, Nick Rallis could suit up. I'd have confidence in this defense. Here's the issue, and I tweeted this out. Walter Nolen was supposed to be back on the timeline that we were given before the regular season. Here, Rapshi put out a tweet. It was like July 23rd or something, and he was like, "He's going to miss most of camp. It's going to be close to the start of the regular season."
I feel like the old lady in the Titanic. That was 50 years ago.
Rap sheet
forever ago.
Rap sheet probably maybe does get information from the Arizona Cardinals. They like Ian Rappaport. So like, okay. I took that as, okay, like this is them kind of massaging the timeline, whatever. And then you and I got information early August, and it was just like, no chance he starts on PUP. Then he's on PUP. And I'm like, okay, so they're being extra precautious. And here's what I will say. Tomlinson, Calais, Dante Stills, they all look great, whatever. And now it's like, what? He's not back yet? What happened? Like, right. They'll never tell us if there was a re-aggravation of his calf. But, like, we saw him in training camp. He didn't have a wrap on it. He was bouncing around. It's like, do they have PTSD from last year? And so they're just so concerned that they'll have another D-Rob situation that they're just like, we don't need him, stash him. He needs to practice. He has to practice to be able to do anything this year.
Yeah. No, he had no training camp. I mean, everything we know seen from Walter Nolen was rookie mini camp to OTAs, the mandatory. That was it. Like no, like true reps and 11s.
I've never seen him in pads before
since Senior Bowl. He hasn't worn pads since Senior Bowl, where he's wrecking some poor guy from Coastal Carolina. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I mean, he's gonna have to, and that's why I think we're erring on the side of caution, but like. If another player, another first round pick, for God's sake, comes down with a calf injury, I'm just going to be like, I'm not even going to try to figure this out.
I'm done. We're done.
He's just going to be back when he's going to be back. And I'm not going to worry about it anymore. Because now it's been 2 years running. It's been 2 years running where it's just been, for whatever reason, there has been hurdle after hurdle to get these guys back on the field. And it's just might as well be, say he's got a knee injury or whatever. He's just, it's keeping them from getting on the field and them ramping them up to get and make an impact.
He looked great when we saw him in August.
I know.
He looked great at joint practice with his teammates. He looked great at the red and white scrimmage. Like, I was enthralled with the defensive line group this training camp because they had so many new pieces. Calais, Dalvin. I wanted to watch Darius. So you and I were constantly filming that and putting those tweets out on Twitter, those videos. Yeah. And so, like, coincidentally, like, there's Walter Nolen just hanging out. And he's in his sandals and he's in his, his sweats. And he looked great. He wasn't limping. Well, his sliders. Just hanging slides. Yeah, slides. And so it's just like, it's October, bro. Why isn't he practicing? So listen, for the people who are upset about the timeline we gave you, this is information, take it or leave it. And then for the people who were cynical to this announcement that it was another D-Rob, and I came on this show and said, guys, it's not. I apologize to all 300 of you watching live, because everything we were led to believe, it was not supposed to be that. I will echo my co-host comments. Never again. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. We're done doing this. This is just, thank God the group is performing. But how long can Calais keep this up? He's their best player.
He's unbelievable. He really is unbelievable. And he goes in, it seems like every game he's going in the blue medical tent and then he's coming back out. He's the Undertaker. He's making big plays at the end of the game. Yeah. It's like, how much can you ask of one player? And like throughout your history, like this guy was playing
old man.
He was playing somebody brought up in the press conference, because we talked to Calais today, and they're like talking about something that happened in 2012. I'm like, my God, he was here for that too. Like he's been through so much wearing a Cardinals uniform, and we continue. He's like, just give this man a running mate to where he doesn't have to just go make all the plays himself. It's unbelievable. Let Calais rest. Let him play 35% of the snaps, for God's sake.
I'm 37 years old. When Calais Campbell joined this team, I was 19 years old. I was 19 years old. The 2008 draft. Dominic Rodgers
necklace. Yeah, I mean, you were shopping at Abercrombie, maybe working at Abercrombie.
Collar, 5950 backwards hat. I was at every fraternity party. I was just living life. 2008. It was a guy in my Jeep. Things were great. And then we got this D lineman from Miami, and it's like, what's going on here? Can this guy play? 19 years later, he's still the team's best player. Unreal. Flat bill. That's right, Jacob. Flat bill, fireball, whatever you want to do. I'm extra.
Was it Jaeger back then?
What's that?
Wasn't it Jägermeister, not Fireball back then?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we used pumpkin spice Four Locos. Those would slap. If those were real, those would absolutely slap. It's baffling. He is saving their ass right now. Can you imagine if they didn't sign him? How many wins would they have? 1? 0? Man,
Bryce Young has a legacy drive to lead the Panthers back.
It has to be their confidence that the D-line right now is just crushing. And they're just like, they're going to destroy the tight. Like Cam Ward's going to run into sacks this weekend. Cam Ward's been sacked more than any quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
He's running into sacks. Their O-line stinks.
He throws the ball like 3 yards too. Like, how are you throwing the ball like seriously just over 4 yards an attempt? And you're getting sacked that much.
Calais Campbell might have multiple sacks.
And how many first rounders do they have on that offensive line?
I'm going to tell you right now. It's what we say here. Doesn't matter if the coaching stinks. Their coach stinks. And all those players that we liked, T-Rex arms and the guy this year, like we liked all of them. Doesn't matter. Baby arm T-Rex, Peter Skronsky. Remember when people thought Peter Skronsky was better than Paris? And Paris is like twice the player Skronsky is. Oh, man. Walter Nolen, where the hell are you, bro? Come on. Gannon, did Gannon talk about Walter Nolen today?
He was asked, Theo Mackey asked, are you concerned about the guys who are eligible to return and their timetable coming back since the window's been open and they haven't been activated? He said no, of course. He's not concerned about it.
I like they do a lot of roster like gymnastics, timelines, and that kind of thing. I do think that they could activate him Wednesday. I think you're right on. But like if they're trying to squeeze out extra days, if they activated him Wednesday, that doesn't give me confidence that like you feel good about anything. Like I would have thought they would have run to the NFL league office to get that notification in.
Monty flew it himself.
Yeah. It's like, here,
we coach. It's like, hey, I traveled from Arizona to tell you we would like to open the practice window for Walter Nolen III, please. So you could have
and then this
emailed us.
This Bilal Nichols thing. The last time I saw Bilal Nichols play football, he was awful. Now, good luck to him. He hasn't practiced in forever. He didn't go through OTAs. He didn't go through training camp. Bilal, I don't want to see Bilal Nichols active for at least 3 weeks. Take all 3 weeks, put him through a mini training camp, and then decide, I trust Rallis. Rallis will tell Austin Ford, I'm not playing this guy. He can't play. Their rotation is good.
He looked good. I thought he looked good today.
Okay.
I know you don't want to hear that. I mean, I don't.
I want Cardinal players to perform. But again, he was awful last year, and he hasn't practiced in forever. I'm not going to believe he's going to be.
He was down with the stinger since, was it Green Bay?
Man, but he looks. Him trying to tackle Jordan Love last year, that was a horror show. I don't want to reenact that. Yeah,
that was if he's low man on the rotation, I'm fine with it.
It's like a meme. It's like Cardinals activated defensive tackle today, and I'm just like this. And then I put it to Bilal Nichols. That's fake to me.
Right, Johnny, if I had shown you this in August, you would have you would have been visibly ill. You would have dropped to your knees. You would be like, no, Bilal Nichols is active earlier before Walter Nolen III.
I would have been like, but thank God the offense is carrying the way. Thank God the offense has got it handled. Nothing to worry about, guys. 28th in the NFL, baby. 6 touchdowns in 4 games. 6, 7, maybe. I don't know. Not very good.
Not a lot.
So Will Johnson trending up. Walter Nolen, TBD. Bilal Nichols, good hell. Michael Carter, RB2. Who's starting at running back this weekend? DeMercado, probably, right?
Probably.
Bam Knight. And then they signed that one,
Ernest Johnson, who has experience in their Cleveland days together.
Love it. Let's just get all the Cleveland players. Why wouldn't we want to be the Browns? Let's get all the Cleveland players. Who else can we get? Can we trade for Joe Flacco?
Joe Thomas. I think he probably weighs 170 pounds now. He played some great left tackle for them.
Yeah, just get that play. Get Stefanski. Let's get that Cleveland pipeline going, baby. We're going to do trending up, trending down. We got some real bangers here on a Football Monday. Man, oh man, this team has broken me. It's PHNX. I'll tell you what, though. The only way I'm staying fresh to death, it's not with 5950s, with our friends at Branded Bills. I've upgraded. I've leveled up. Looking for some gear to help make you stand apart from the crowd? Branded Bills has you covered with the best custom headwear. Start your order with their dedicated team. They're going to help you create the exact custom apparel you need. They've got fitteds, beanies, tees, trucker hats. Branded Bills has you covered with performance and style. Plus, they've got a partnership with upwards of 40 universities, including ASU, U of A, as a part of their campus collection. They also partner with the Phoenix Suns. Ever heard of them? Locally owned, operated out of Mesa, Arizona. Head to brandedbills.com. That's brandedbills.com. Use the bonus code BBPHNX for 15% off your first order. Check out this little ditty right here. Branded Bills, baby, PHNX lid. You can't beat it. I think you're going to talk to us, Bo, about our friends.
Yeah, I hate my hat. I love your hat. I guess what we're going to talk about is Mountain America Credit Union. Yes, I was thinking about another one, but I just stared into the void.
Yeah, look at the Cardinals playbook and you froze.
Yeah, look. I love Branded Bills, and I'd love it to make a part of my lifestyle. So I also like to make my checking account part of my lifestyle as well. My style checking account Make it your lifestyle with Mountain America Credit Union. Everybody needs a credit checking account. Absolutely. Check it out at Mountain America Credit Union. They're going to help you enjoy perks with restaurant deals. How about mobile phone protection, telehealth access, identity protection, loan rate discounts, offers and travel events, and so much more. Make My Style checking your lifestyle. Check them out right now at Mountain America Credit Union. Visit macu.com/mystyle to apply. That's macu.com/mystyle to apply. Insured by NCUA. Membership required based on eligibility. Some benefits require no cost registration activation. Terms, conditions, and exclusions apply. But check them out. macu.com/mystyle to apply for My Style checking account. Mountain America Credit Union.
Justin Fields just had one of the worst turnovers I have ever seen from a quarterback, fumbling against the Miami Dolphins. Just getting sacked, and he basically just goes like this, and the ball just
I mean, that's the same organization. It's such a rich history.
It is. It's probably a tier below that, but yeah, Justin Fields, Tyrod Taylor, that's Jets, bad team, not a good team. Everybody hit that like button for your favorite Cardinal tandem.
Remember people were telling us like the Cardinals needed to go after Justin Fields many times. They're like, just get a bridge. Justin Fields, the guy went 3 for 11 for 27 yards his last go round before he had to miss a week with a concussion.
By the way, Daniel Jones, if he was here, wouldn't be good. I'm convinced of that. Sam Darnold, if he was here, wouldn't be good. Like the Cardinals do not have an offense cohesive, like in a position where they could just welcome free agent quarterback, plug and play. It's not, Cardinals they don't get that benefit of the doubt. Could they take an off-ball linebacker and do that? Hell yeah, they could. Could they take a safety? Absolutely. A veteran corner? Let's go. Josh Sweat, Baron Browning, elevate. Anybody thinks that they could take Fields or any of these quarterbacks and it's just like, they'll be better than Kyler Murray. The hell they will. I mean, it's just like the Kyler Murray slander right now is at an all-time high. And it's like, guys, what do you expect them to do? Like Kyler Murray played well enough to win Thursday night. Marvin Harrison Jr., Drew Petzing, the offense let him down. Like, we'll have a conversation about Kyler Murray in January.
Yeah.
But until that, like, he's your guy. But these other Daniel Jones would be a disaster here. A disaster.
The big thing going around now is the Kyler Murray division record, which is it's brutal. I think he's like 8-26, 27 playing within his division. Been a quarterback of a lot of bad teams.
He's not a transcendent player like a Josh Allen that he can overcome sometimes shaky coaching, right?
Mm-hmm.
He can't, like, it's Cliff Kingsbury as a head coach and now a rebuild against 3 Hall of Fame coaches, Pete Carroll, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan.
Who are, year in and year out.
You're toast. None of these teams outside of like the Niners implode like every once in a while and we laugh at them, but like, the Rams and the Seahawks do not have down years. And listen, Kyler Murray, unfortunately, was drafted by a team that was not ready to seriously contend. If Kyler Murray had gone to a different situation that was like plug and play in the AFC or NFC South, like he probably has much more success. But I'm not going to sit here and say like Kyler's Lamar or Joe. He's not. But we've been consistent with that take. He's closer to Alex Smith, middle of the pack guy that you could win a bunch of games with. But you gotta be able to say, listen, folks, this coaching is a gauntlet in the NFC West. And I think Gannon can hang, but man, you got to change some things. The coaching staff has to just be infinite.
And you gotta survive in advance, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to get to the next step. Like if you need more preaching patience is not going to work in year 3.
No,
but you got to be able to start to change the narrative a little bit. Interesting. Let's get in. Are we getting into trending up, trending down?
Yeah. Why don't you hit us with your trending up, Bo?
Okay. Yeah, I'll start. Let's get with mine. How about Marvin Harrison Jr. targets? We saw Marvin Harrison Jr. despite being called a bust and dead in the first half, come back to life, the resurrection of MHJ with 10 targets and go for 6 catches for 66 yards and the touchdown that put the Cardinals back in the game. Is it something we're going to see trend up? I think so. I absolutely do think so, just because out of necessity, even though it should have just been like, hey, feed Marv the ball. but they're finding different ways to get him involved in the offense. I think you're going to continue to see more consistent target share for MHJ. We mentioned it today. Michael Carter, he was elevated last week. He was assigned to the active roster today. I think Michael Carter is just a good, productive football player. We've been kind of banging the table for Michael Carter now for 2 seasons. We like Michael Carter. I think he can add something to that running back room and pick up some of the slack there. And then wrapping it up here, I've got the DB room is trending up because you add Will Johnson back to this room. You liked what you saw from Max Melton in spurts the last couple games. And then like somebody you're going to talk about and trending up, Keitrell Clark. I just like what I've seen from the DB room post a couple key injuries. Hell, John Schneider, he was on TV during the broadcast. Keitrell Clark makes a huge play, and he's like, who the hell was that? And he had to look down at his roster. He's like, you could see him say, he's like, oh, from Louisville, it's Keitrell Clark. Like Keitrell Clark, I think, with Will Johnson out, has earned him a spot in this outside corner rotation going forward.
Yeah, let's kick things off with my trending up, and it starts with the third-year player out of Louisville. I am humble enough to say, like, I thought he was a player that the Cardinals could afford to part with. Thank goodness they didn't. I mean, he was outstanding. He was everywhere. Seattle wants to do everything horizontal. They want you to have to go up and tackle their big physical running backs and receivers, and he was up for the challenge. He was fantastic. What a gamer, 6-rounder that, again, it's like, will he or won't he make the team? He's undersized. Cardinals keep taking corners high. He was their highest-rated defender against the Seattle Seahawks, and he's earned so much respect, not that he needs it from this podcast, from this schlubby host. So congratulations, Keitrell. Keep balling out, young man. Baron Browning as well. I thought Baron Browning, even though he didn't record a sack, has been everywhere. I think he's playing violent. I think he is the perfect Robin to Josh Sweat's Batman. That was a very savvy addition. It made us all kind of semi-concerned in the offseason because they added him first. It's like, that's not your solution. But then they went and got Sweat and Dalvin and Calais and everything else, right? And then, a couple draft picks that play defensive line. Baron Browning has been the perfect complement to this robust rebuilt defensive line where, his TFLs are high, his pressures are high. And with Calais and Josh getting, bundles of sacks, you don't need Baron Browning to have 12 sacks. He can just be a contributor. And then Clayton Adams, what he's doing with the Dallas Cowboys, I posted on Twitter, like he shredded the Jordan Love-led Green Bay Packers. And it's like, well, people are like, don't he doesn't call plays. You don't think he puts together a game plan with Brian Schottenheimer? Brian Schottenheimer allows Clayton Adams to enable Dak Prescott to throw 40 times in a game and be sacked 1 time and score 40 points.
Right.
And in the offense, the domination of the line of scrimmage, everything that the Cowboys did and are going to do. Javonte Williams is reinvigorated as a runner. The Cardinals have gone backwards. So however you want to phrase it, it's like, we thought it would be seamless. We were wrong. Justin Fry is not Clayton Adams, at least not yet. We thought they would need more time. Remember, we were in New Orleans for week 1. Just like the defensive line, they just need to hit for a couple weeks. And we're a month into this. It's not the same. And so it's been a coaching downgrade. Good for Clayton Adams.
Yeah, absolutely. Dak Prescott was sacked. It was at the end of the game. It was kind of a token sack. It was like he got to the line of scrimmage and Micah Parsons was able to take him down. It was a good play by Parsons, but he was not that big of a factor. And they played extra football. Would they play 70 minutes last night? And he was sacked once. And the run game, they averaged 4.5 yards per carry. Yeah. That's Clayton Adams' offensive line right there. So say what you will about his impact. It's sorely missed here. I think that's a good addition, but also it sucks. I hate seeing it. Yeah. Let's trend down together. Here we go. More bad news. Father Time is trending down. We talked about Calais Campbell giving him his flowers. So Father Time, take a hike. You're losing this battle with Calais Campbell as he's 39 years old and still balling out. Love it. Also trending down, the quality of opponent that the Cardinals will face. They played a really nice Seahawks team. I think a team that's not going to go away in the NFC West can do it in all 3 phases. The team coming in, what did Cam Morris say? To keep it a buck, their ass. And that's the quality of opponent coming in at 0-4 and all 51 points in 4 games. And then that reinforcement juice that we were expecting, you and I talked about it on Saturday. It's nice to see Will Johnson, but I know you wanted Walter Nolen, but how about a Bilal Nichols? Not going to give me the same juice as Walter Nolen hitting the practice field. So that reinforcement juice, it's not hitting as potent as I'd like.
It's expired. That juice is expired, and it's not hitting like a Capri Sun would. I like your picks.
That's not real juice.
Vibe related. Yeah, it's artificially flavored. Here are mine for trending down. Again, Walter Nolen's recovery. Cardinals are saying all the right things publicly. Where the hell is he? Why isn't he practicing? What is going on here? It's been 60 plus days. And then as we talked about, 12, 13 personnel.
Do you want me to demand to see him? I'd like to see Walter. I need proof of life right now for the first round pick.
Blink twice if you're okay, Walter. 12, 13 personnel. Drew Petzing, thank God, is trending down.
Hold on. Can we give this a little? I mean, this is a big thing, this 12, 13 personnel. It's been a part of our lives for over 2 years now.
Pour one out. 0 playoffs and minimal wins against winning teams. That worked out great, guys. And I wish, and this I'm being sincere, I wish it didn't take injuries to James Conner and now Trey Benson for it to go away, but go away, do not come back. And then speaking of that, 2023 third rounders, the Cardinals, no more did their 12, 13 personnel fingerprints were more so utilized than the 2024 third round picks. Trey Benson, now out. Isaiah Adams has not been good. Tip Ryman, a pick later, is a blocking tight end, and then Elijah Jones, who is buried on the cornerback depth chart. So Cardinals were supposed to own the top 100 in the 2024 NFL draft. Not looking great. And the third round specifically, I sat in the studio with Bo and I said, third round, 4 picks, we're eating good. Let's go. Yeah. And right now, TV dinners, not great.
No, it's not. Isaiah Adams, 88th out of 95 guards graded by PFF. I know it's not,
bad.
The end all say all, but penalized, I think the 5th most from the guard. No, second most penalties from the guard spot.
Can I just make a quick point too? Yeah. Will Hernandez is not going to save everybody and save everything. Sure. He's a good player last year, and this is part of the reason the Cardinals felt comfortable going with Adams. It's because he played well at the end of last year. They put him in. He was good.
Right.
He was ascending. His PFF grades got better every week with Clayton Adams. And now without Clayton Adams, he has regressed somewhat this year. So has the entire unit, right? So the Cardinals were confident that they didn't have to spend a ton of money on a guard because we talked to Jonathan Gannon at the Combine. They liked Isaiah Adams. We watched him. Why wouldn't they like him based on the tape from last year? It's not the same. This is the Clayton Adams effect has blown up this offense. It has completely derailed it. And the Cardinals can say whatever they want publicly because they're rightfully supporting Justin Fry. We got eyes. It's the same players as last year.
Let's get to your super chats and new supporters to the club. Can't wait to welcome you. It's all coming up next. Our friends, we'll come back. PHNX Cardinals.
Love our friends at Bet365. Hasn't been a great weekend for your boy in the app. Just say that right now.
Great one for me.
Oh, congratulations.
For experience.
Rub that in my face. I may or may not have cleaned up though on Thursday Night Football.
For 3, that's 66%. That's a
professional gambler. That's a professional gambler.
Yeah, thank you.
But you can clean up right now with the football early payout offer in the NFL and college football with Bet365. You're a winner if your team goes up by 17 points. With an instant payout on straight bets and parlays. They're marked at winner. Here's your money. Goodbye. Last season, NFL, both money lines were paid out 4 times as much. And again, supplies to college football too. Breaking news again. New customers get $200 in bonus bets. 200 when you bet just $5, deposit 10 with the bonus code PHNX 365. Again, $5 can get you $200. Win or lose, you can use bonus bets on player props, spreads, totals, futures, whatever you want, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary with Bet365. You got to be 21 years and older, physically located here in the great state of Arizona. If you were someone you know has a gambling problem, wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Text NEXT STEP to 53342 or visit problemgambling.az.gov for more info.
For more than 15 years, Access Insurance, the agency of Arizona, has delivered affordable, reliable car insurance for drivers across the Phoenix metro area. They make it simple to get covered, accepting different IDs, driving histories, and license types. while partnering with over 20 carriers so you can compare rates and find the best that fits your budget. With bilingual agents at 9 Valley locations, Access is part of the community and ready to help you discover coverage and discounts you deserve. Plus, they accept both cash and card for your convenience. Access Auto, trusted by the community, rooted in Phoenix, and ready to help. All statements are subject to terms, exclusions, and conditions of applicable policy. In other instances, all current policy contract language prevails. Coverage is subject to individual policy holders meeting underwriting qualifications and state availability. Other terms, conditions, and exclusions may apply.
Hit that like button. Subscribe to PHNX Sports. Become a supporter. We got a ton of super chats and supporters we want to get to, but we want to remind everybody for just $5 a month, you can join our supporters club. We're so fired up to welcome all of our many supporters in the chat. Just click that join button, and Bo, you can hammer out your favorite emojis, including me trying to chug a beer.
That's right. A feeble attempt at chugging, but it is absolutely infamous and one of my favorite. So throw it up in there anytime you want. Hopefully you're going to be throwing up the W this weekend as the Cardinals take on the lowly Titans, but so many ways that you can support PHNX Sports, but this is for the real ones out there. Sign up for the low price of $5. Goes a long way. We appreciate you. We're going to be doing some things like some in-show polls that only supporters can participate in. And also, I think we'll have content just on demand for those who are supporters.
Yeah, and I think we're gearing up, especially we do a bunch of shows in the offseason like sickos during draft season. We will probably do supporter only live streams in the off season as well. So
wow, we added the Kyler celebration emoji. I didn't know that. Looks great.
I'd love to be able to support that with some tutties, but we haven't gotten to that point yet. So it's like, hey, let's 3-yard run, Kyler emoji. Let's do it. Let's do this. Excuse me. Super chats. Sam went digital, $4.99. Johnny would probably smoke Drew Petzing in a game of Madden. I haven't played Madden in a while. My 10-year-old son plays it a lot, and it's hard to watch. It's hard for me to watch him play because he just takes a mobile quarterback and runs outside the pocket and chucks it out. It's not real football. So
I take Huddy to go, not Johnny, but against Petzing. Otherwise, I think Drew knows playbook a little bit more.
He does.
Brian P. $5. Thank you, Brian, our guy. He was hanging out with Kurt Warner on Friday. That was cool to see.
That's awesome.
What's up with our training staff? Why can't people get healthy in normal timelines with this franchise? Benson probably out. Why else bring Carter up?
I think injuries are an epidemic in the NFL. It's because they don't have rigorous training camps like they used to. They don't have two-a-days, and so now all the injuries are bleeding into the regular season. But I don't know. I think the Cardinals have been relatively healthy, Brian. I think offensively, with all due respect but look at like the Niners and some of these teams. I think with all due respect to James Conner and Trey Benson, like they have enough good players to score points. They can't score points. They couldn't score points with these players.
Right. Let's keep it going. Kyler Plummer, back-to-back super chats here. Imagine if we listened to JV and got scat. Come on.
Can we have that conversation real fast?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to have it right around the corner as we go into overtime. Scatman, over the weekend, is now the featured back for the 1-3 New York Giants.
What a victory for Big Blue on Saturday or Sunday.
Did you see their first round pick? That edge rusher was like 1-0, baby, and people were like, "What the hell are you talking about? What's that guy's name?"
Abdul Carter.
Yeah, Abdul Carter is like 1-0, and people are like, "No, bro, you're 1-3." So Cam Scatterbo, 25 for 79, 3.2 yards per clip.
Wow,
2-point conversion and a backflip. And then he had 2 catches for 11 yards. But on the years,
let me you can have your stage, but let me this because I think it's relevant. On Friday, when it was pouring rain, and I went to get out of my truck, and I said, "Damn it, I don't have an umbrella for living in Arizona."
Yeah,
really needed that. That's what it is. Having an umbrella in Arizona and Phoenix. That's what it would have been like. That's why you draft Cam Scatterbo. It's 300 days of sunshine. Very rarely it rains like that. He would have been RB3, RB4 on this roster.
He'd be starting this weekend.
Well, no S. They're down 2 running backs.
Listen, I think first of all, his rushing total would lead the Cardinals right now, barely, but it would. His yards per carry is rough. The Giants are a disaster. They're playing from behind. I think he could have really helped them, but I understood the argument at the time that it was an ultimate luxury pick.
Mm-hmm.
I would have traded up at the beginning of the 4th round and made sure you got him. I think his energy, his juice, his versatility, play special teams, he would have been a really fun player to continue his career here in Arizona.
I'm all in on that. I get that. And I would have been right there celebrating.
You would have been pro. You would have been pro it. Like, that's what I think people misconstrued is like Bo wasn't rooting against the pick, but he also didn't have an issue when the Cardinals didn't take Scadaboo. Yeah. So I
eat well-rounded meals because I understand the value of them. You guys eat Skittles for dinner and chug down Sprite. And
that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
But look, I mean, I'm not a big Giants apologist. I don't like the Giants. They've been harmless anyway the last decade because they've been so bad.
Yeah.
But the fact that they get Scat in there, who's so fun to watch, Dart, who came out like he did, and Neighbors, and they march down on a good team like the Chargers for a touchdown, and then immediately lose Neighbors. I feel for him, man. That is a brutal blow.
Yeah, Neighbors. I thought it was a bone bruise the way it happened, and then people are like, "No, it's an ACL," and he won't be back for a year. Maybe he can come back, next September. But I mean, Scadaboo, he would have just been. I mean, think about the narrative right now. If he was like taking over the backfield at this point in the year,
it would have been electric. I get it.
It would have. Kyler Plummer giving me some love. JV can walk on water. I'm convinced. I appreciate that. I've had some takes that have aged well. The offense, Scat. I've had some takes that have aged well. Hassan Reddick's kicking ass. He was awesome yesterday for Tampa Bay. What's my last bad take?
He was awesome for Tampa Bay, who lost. That was great.
What's my last bad take? Do you remember? Like a really bad take that has not aged well.
I mean, Baron Browning is a tough one for you.
Yeah, but he wasn't good last year. You know what people were doing to me on Twitter? They're like,
he won't even take the L. I find a good example, and he's just like, well, this is why it wasn't a bad take.
You're wrong. Let me tell you why.
You've got him on your trending up, don't you?
Yeah, I think. Dennis Gardeck getting sacks yesterday. People were blowing me up. They're like, "Did you see Gardeck? You hate him," and I'm like, "I don't hate him."
You were just tired of him being like the featured outside linebacker in the pass rush.
And they finally got serious, and this is the best pass rush they've had in 5 years. Yeah, I'm about to be. If Marv doesn't get it going, that'll be my take. Marv and Darius, I was all in on those players.
Yeah,
I
we're all
did
going
training camp.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Bees.
Okay, keeping it going here. Zachary Brady. They need to play every game like you're down 14. I agree with that. I think that you need to play offense with a sense of urgency, and you need to get it going. You push the ball downfield.
I think they will. Taco Corp 199. Can we go back and elevate Adams to replace Drew? Think about that. It's like
who's actually making the play calls then? Like, I mean, because Adams isn't making the play calls for Dallas. That's Schottenheimer.
Right.
But GPT.
Not a bad
call. The infrastructure. I would let. I think I'm with most of the family. It's like I would let Clayton Adams call plays over what I'm watching right now with Drew until Drew shows us something different. AZ Moses 89 $5 with the rise in Achilles injuries related to calf issues. Is that probably why they're going to slow with Walter Nolen like D-Rob last year?
Well, D-Rob suffered, discomfort the first practice back, and they had to activate him to not lose him for the entire season, and then they got him not at full strength the entire year. I think they're just trying to avoid that altogether. But yeah, I'm sure with calf injuries, we now have seen them connected to Achilles injuries, and that's got to be part of it as well.
Darth Vader 199. Bo, do you think Michael Carter could be Chase Edmonds?
In what way? Just being the same type of player? I mean, I think that both undersized running backs that will catch the ball, can run between the tackles. Like one thing I know about Michael Carter is he can just get yards. He can turn something, nothing into something. Like I like what I've seen from Michael Carter anytime he's got an opportunity. I just think he's a productive football player. So if we saw the very same thing with Chase Youngman before, did that knee injury just end his career that he suffered?
He just got signed by somebody recently.
Oh, he did?
He just got back, but he was in Tampa for a while. Mac Daddy, 714-499. What do you guys see from the O-line that's different compared to last? The guards get beat inside a lot and less aggressive at a point of attack. I'm not smart enough to break down offensive line tape. We got our guy Baldy on later this week. We'll ask him, but I mean, like, it's coaching. They're being coached differently, and it's a worse product. So that's good enough for me as an explanation, Bo.
Yeah, it's a good question, Wesley. And I think a lot of people are pointing towards the ineffectiveness of the interior of the offensive line. And you're seeing just poor play from guys like Evan Brown, from Isaiah Adams. Are they being out-coached by the opposition's side of the trenches? And I think a lot of people are seeing that. Check out Jonathan Gannon's presser today. He had a good back and forth with Teo Mackey about that specifically, and JG went in depth on that. B's gifted one PHNX Sports membership. If we can do that, I'm on board to hand out some memberships as well. B's, thank you so much, man. That's a very generous offer. So did he give it to somebody specifically, or do we need to choose that
by random? So when you gift a membership, it's just randomly assigned to somebody who's logged in watching the show, who's not a member already. So thank you so much, B's. Appreciate that. If you guys want to support the show, hit that join button down below. It's just $5. Helps immensely as we're able to get guests like Baldy, Mina Kimes, Kurt Warner. So fired up for this community. As down as I am on this Cardinal offense right now, I am the opposite on this Cardinal community that you guys have created here. So it's been, after an off season in which there was so much hope and optimism, that's been shaken by this fan base right now. The Cardinals need to do right by this fan base on Sunday and have a convincing win.
I love that from B. Same. I thought we need new members in here, and it's just leadership qualities. Like, it's just a high level player.
That's right.
How many of you gifted, Johnny?
0.00. But that's not to say I won't. Tyler P sneaking in a super chat, $6.99 Canadian. JV, you're talking down NFC West opponents in the offseason. Smacks of wish casting now. #cards and last #sadly. The Niners are not good, and the Cardinals are worse because they lost, but that means the Cardinals are bad. The Niners are a bad team. They're not a good team. They have no players. I'm not like the Cardinals like that, whatever. Did I overestimate how good Seattle would be competent wise offensively? Probably. And then a lot of us thought the Rams could put together, the Rams aren't unbeatable. They almost lost to Danny Dimes. Here's where I'm at, Tyler. This Cardinal offense, if it was at least middle of the pack, they'd be 4-0. If it was 15th, 16th, 17th, instead of, 28th, they would be 4-0 and right where they're supposed to be. They're blowing it because you're playing the AFC and NFC South. These teams were vulnerable early. To me, it speaks more about what the Cardinals aren't doing than what the rest of the division is doing.
Yeah. I am fully on board with burying the Niners. I don't think we should shy away from it. They're bad guys. Their fan base, they think that they're better than they are. Did you see that crap yesterday with Liam Cohen, and you had Robert Saleh going after him and saying, keep my name out of your mouth or whatever. And then
some crazy stuff.
Saleh accused Cohen of sign stealing, right?
Legally, though. Said it's legal. And then Shanahan's like, Cohen's being too sensitive. The Niners stink. They're the least likable team. Seattle is a well-run.
I was giving them credit for them being 3-0 with the roster that they have, that coaching staff, but that was soft yesterday.
They're going to get bludgeoned on Thursday Night Football. If the Cardinals had just not wet the bed, they'd be 2-3. They'd be dead. That's the worst loss last 3 years. The Seahawk loss, I think we all kind of telegraphed it because of how bad the offense is playing. Drew Petzing came out and was like, we're going to run the ball until our, we can't run it anymore. And then they just didn't adjust.
Yeah.
That's going to haunt them. If they miss the playoffs by a game, that game will haunt them. Yeah. I hate Robert Sala and Kyle Shanahan. Go away.
Yeah. Brock Purdy, 3 turnovers in his return. He's got a hurt toe though.
Oh, my toe.
The piggy's hurting. Great show back here. We're just getting started for this week. Week 5 is already upon us. My Lord, going up against how's that team performing again? If we keep it 100, it's ass, according to Cam Ward. There it is. We keep it at $1, not 100. We ass. I love it. 4 straight losses, 51 points in those games total. They're coming to Glendale on Sunday. Can't wait to lead you up to this. As Johnny mentioned, we got Baldy coming up, plus more guests. Can't wait. Make sure you subscribe to PHNX Sports here on YouTube. We got all the content coming your way. Oh, man, and it is top-notch stuff. We make sure that. Everything's covered. No stone goes unturned as far as getting you guys top-notch content. Good stuff from Noah, our producer. He's got it up there, and it's looking real nice. Make sure you're following Johnny on Twitter at Johnny Venerable. Follow me at Bo Brock, and follow the show at PHNX_Cardinals on all your socials. Have a great rest of your Monday. Enjoy the Monday Night Football. We'll talk to you tomorrow right here at 4:30, PHNX Cards.
We all silly like the mayor.